Hey everybody, so I want to make this clear. These campaigns against 5G, okay, we have a lot of weak people in the population that are not going to be able to adapt to the new society. We have now very fast communication with internet, with the cell towers, with Wi-Fi. Yeah, we have smart meters. We have almost every household have the internet and Wi-Fi. Every business have the internet and Wi-Fi. Yes, we are, in a smart grid, smart society. Okay. And so there are people that are making correlation equals causation that, oh yeah, they're near a Wi-Fi tower or a cell tower, or they're near, any kind of Wi-Fi, and they're doing Faraday cages, putting tinfoil, lead paint, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're doing stuff. And so you know where that comes from? It comes from weaknesses. If you are affected by Wi-Fi, and yeah, some people say, yeah, I get affected. I have certain sensitivities to radiation, Wi-Fi. Okay. Well, then I guess you're not gonna be able to adapt to a society. You're screwed. What do you do? Go live off grid and then, try to beat the elements that way? Or what do? You strengthen your body. I'm around Wi-Fi. I'm in a metropolitan society, so to speak. I'm sort of kind of in the country, but Ohio, where I'm at in the city that I'm in, it's pretty much, it's a bustling city. I have traffic lights, I have Wi-Fi, I have a smart meter. I live behind an oil refinery. Yeah, I see lines in the sky. I sleep next to my phone. I have phone buds in my ear. But you know why I don't have any sensitivity to Wi-Fi? Because I strengthen my body to handle the changing conditions. See, why people have fears, and this is for those that are posting fears all over their Facebook, posting fears about 5G, and I'm not going to mention anything else. I don't want to distract it from this specific message. But all that are afraid of EMF and Wi-Fi already have predispositions of weaknesses. It's all good, Jacqueline. I want to make you understand that you can actually strengthen your body so you don't have any fear of anything. The only fear that you have would be fear itself. Okay? But people who have already predispositions based upon genetics and then the traumas they did throughout their life has caused them to be then sensitive to their environment, regardless, whether it's Wi-Fi or GMO or minerals or air. When we build a society that has to live in a bubble, that is a society on a very fast freaking death trajectory. But that's what these people in these groups, the EMF groups, the raw vegan vegetarian groups, these are people that have to live in a bubble. And when you have to live in a bubble, your days are numbered. And that's exactly why I don't want anybody in my group posting any fears, because we're not trying to live in a bubble. The reason why some of you want to live in a bubble, because you have so many freaking issues. You are that weak that you can't handle your environment. Well, now you have access to actually able to handle your environment with the Jillyjuice, but you have to handle the pain is healing process. Not everybody can. Some people are going to still post their fears, even in their head, even though they don't post it on Facebook, but they still have a fear. They still have a fear. And until they can get through the Jillyjuice at a certain level, they will still have that fear until finally something clicks to them and they're feeling great. And they're like, oh, wow, I'm around my smart meter. Oh, my God, I'm around my phone. I have earbuds in my ear. I mean, I listen to YouTube almost all night long. I go to sleep listening to stuff on my YouTube on my phone. And I have it right next to my head. Now, I don't always have my phone in my ear all the time because it does get hot and I could feel, and then my body then repairs whatever damage from having it next to my ear if I'm on the phone. But I'm not on the phone all the time. Or I put it on, but I put it on speakerphone so I don't have it next to my head. That's how I mitigate any potential, because yeah, when you feel pain, you know the body's trying to heal from that direct correlation equals causation. Now I know when I do put this to my head and I feel the feel kind of burn a little bit, okay. And so your body lets you know when there's too much of any one thing, and you listen to your body. Okay? So here's the thing. So, you know, when you're exposed on a like level of the smart meters and the 5G towers and whatever, now you have to build up your body to be able to acclimate. Now, obviously, if there's so much parts per million, or there's like some kind of like, you know, atom bomb that's in your area, no, the J-Juice is not going to be like this Faraday cage and put you in this bubble against an atom bomb. No, that would, those elements would be too extreme for any J-Juice. But if you're getting a very certain amount, which they've already tested, okay, they already tested, and that's why you see these articles where like, oh my God, they tested Wi-Fi in this area and all these birds fell. Well, you know, like experiments, there's going to have to be casualties when you experiment, because you got to figure out, what do you call it, the basis point to work from. When you turn it up this high, what happens? Turn it too low, what happens? I mean, that's science, that's experimentation. That's how they are able to figure out what a general population can handle relatively okay. Now, there's some of you that are so freaking weak that nothing will be good enough for you. And those that you see in these groups, these EMF, 5G, oh my God, activist groups. Activists are the ones that are the weakest in our society that need modern medicine the most. Okay? So that's why there's no activism in my group. That's why there's no fear mongering in my group. We're not in the 1500s where they're still trying to develop a society where everyone's still freaking medieval and committing atrocities against each other. We've kind of, you know, mitigated that. Now we do see some areas in the world where they're still doing medieval shit to each other, but that's not in America. But there's some parts that even America would do that stuff, but it's behind closed doors. And then when it comes to light, everyone goes and descends upon them. And you see those all over Facebook. Just like that Colorado couple that was torturing their poor horses. And they were indicted for animal cruelty. Okay, so you'll see things, you know, people do stuff out there, but we do bring them to justice when we see it happen. Not all the time in a timely manner, but it does happen eventually. Okay. So anyway, why was it going there? But yeah, so 5G is not something to be afraid of. Our society will test things out to make sure that the general population can handle it. And if you can't handle it, then really it's your issue, because why can I handle it? Oh, because you know what? I did something to my body that strengthened it to be able to adapt to the changing conditions. And if you can't adapt to this society, it won't matter what the hell you do. Okay, it won't matter what the hell you do. You're going to die anyway, so you might as well just either do the J-Juice or shut up. But no, you know, when somebody is weak, they're going to try to scream and cry until they leave this earth. And it sucks because, yeah, I mean, the body's trying to live. But you feel bad for these people who are very weak, that are activists, because they're trying to live and they think it's the 5G's fault. They think it's the vaccine's fault. They think it's, you know, modern medicine's fault, when it really is their fault. It's their weaknesses' fault. Okay? So that's why the J-Juice does not promote any type of fear-mongering. My hair. Does not promote any type of fear-mongering, because that's a sign of a weakness. That's a weakness that we have the potential to, you know, to strengthen. But I don't want people infecting their friends and family and infecting my group, okay? Because when you infect your family of the 5G and they're not even doing the J-Juice, then they're going to be all worried, and it's going to cause stress, and it's going to cause cancer in your family, because they're not doing the J-Juice. You are. You haven't exemplified a well-balanced, so you're not giving them any kind of incentive to do the J-Juice. But man, you're henny penny, the world's caving in, the sky is falling, and now they're all stressed out trying to figure out what to do and take all these protocols that are causing them more harm, and going out there and pounding the pavement, causing them to spend more minerals that they don't have. And then guess what? You have now accelerated their death process, and you gave them no solution. See, when you're putting out fears and you don't give out a solution, you're causing then the acceleration of the degradation process. So that's why there is no activism in my group. There's no fears in my group. And if you are doing the J-Juice protocol and you're posting these things to your own audience, what kind of representation is that I don't want? I don't want that representation. Now, you know, I don't care what you do on your Facebook, but when as soon as it bleeds over into my life in some way, and now I know, because I don't follow all of you guys. I don't go and each ever follow behind you and say, like, what are you posting? I don't really care. But as soon as it enters into my world, and now I know your mentality, I'm going to look at you differently. Now I kind of know where you're coming from. Now I know that you're not really doing the J-juice, and you're that weak, and you're still part of the fear activism. You're undermining yourself as well as everyone around you. I'm going to look at you differently. I'm not going to say too much, but I will hold you accountable because you're not going to mess up my group. But now I'm going to lose a little bit of faith in you as far as you actually seeing this through. So I'm not going to expect a lot from you. Maybe you'll tell me, okay, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. But, you know, I mean, that remains to be seen. Remember, people pay lip service a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I do this. They say one thing and do another. And I see that all the time, too. So I don't always really trust what people say. It's what they do is really what makes the difference. Okay? Ah, my hair. Anyways, so that's why, you know, anyone that induces fear out there as far as activism, they're coming from a weak standpoint. They are. So don't mind my hair. I took a shower this morning. So yeah, so I'm telling you, the J-juice is the end all be all surefire. There is no way you can take the ingredients of J-juice, compartmentalize it, and create your own concoction that doesn't taste like mine. There's no fucking way. So that's why we've cornered the market, you guys. And now it's time to exemplify cornering the market. And that's why I say, get off the activism. Because if you're doing the J-juice, you have no fear. I have no fear of anything. If I see any indicator of anything, I get into action. And I know my rights, I know the law, and I have, you know, access to different agencies if need be. Okay? So if I'm in any fear of any, you know, issues with anything as far as my world, I know how to protect myself. Okay? But do any of you? Do you know how to protect yourselves? Except for blaming and being an activist. So the J-juice corners a market, you guys. The J-juice corners a market. And it's time for you to exemplify that. And if you can't exemplify that, then what are you doing? Why even be on the J-juice? Because it's obviously not a solution for you. Or you wouldn't be in fear. So if you're in fear, obviously the J-juice isn't a solution for you. So then what the hell are you doing? But yeah, I mean, I don't follow all of you guys, but if you happen to bleed, if your politics happen to bleed over into my world, be sure I'm going to hold you accountable. And then now I have a different perception of you. So now it's up to you to change my perception of you if you want, if you care. You may not, but I know you do care, Jacqueline, so I'm not going to worry about you too much. But I know not, a lot of you don't get on my Facebook a lot. A lot of you don't get onto the videos a lot. I get it. I understand that. But my information is very, very quick. And I do have a lot of, you know, stuff that I do talk about. And so it would be good just to get caught up in what I'm saying so you're not making missteps, especially if you're in my group. Okay? But I'm quick forgiving if you can handle my holding you accountable. Not everybody can. But damn, Jacqueline, you're good. So I think that you could probably do the protocol because I can rip somebody a new household because I don't want you to fall into that fear. I mean, I give a crap about you, Jacqueline. I see so much hope for you. Okay? I see so much hope for you. And when I see something like that that's unexpected, you know, it throws myself like, what the fuck? And it threw Kevin for a loop too. Okay? But he cared enough about you to let me know, so that way I can either, you know, I can say, okay, you know, put up or shut up. That's what it is. Okay? And, you know, I would rather make you choose one or the other, so that way you don't fool yourself into something that you're not ready to do, you know. And so that's kind of what the J-juice is about, is that, you know, we don't discriminate. We hold everybody accountable. The J-juice holds everybody accountable for all their actions. You know, the J-juice doesn't say, okay, we're going to make, you know, we're not going to not have you deal with the weaknesses, not give you pain. No, if you have a weakness, you're going to be in pain. If you make a misstep, we're going to let you know. Okay? But I'm actually impressed that Kevin, you know, let me know because he didn't have to. But I can go and look in the admin and see like, oh, yeah, there's a post removed by Kevin. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So he didn't want to risk that either. I don't know what went through Kevin's mind, but I think he really want to make sure that we get you on the right path. So anyway, so I just don't want anybody to be fearing of any of this stuff. If you can't handle your environment, you're not going to handle your environment no matter what. It won't matter what it is. You can avoid it. You can put yourself in a Faraday cage. You can take all your detoxes, you know, live in a bubble, but you're on a death trajectory. There's no hope for you if you guys are living in fear. And those of you that are part of those groups, the EMF and the 5G and the activist groups, not on Jillyjuice, there is no hope for you until you actually change your perception of the environment. And the body has the ability to adapt to the new changes in the environment if you give it what it needs. And if you don't give it what it needs, then you will live in fear, trying to make and legislate morals onto everybody else, thinking that everyone has the same biochemistry as you do. And that's why I get annoyed at those that come on to Kevin's Facebook and my Facebook, giving all of their ideas and tips and perspectives on remedies and stuff, and nobody asks them. But they're definitely imposing and projecting all of their weaknesses onto us. And that's what activists do, and that's what people in the holistic world do, and that's, you know, and that's how they legislate morals, and that's why we have politics in our society, because each side is projecting their weaknesses and imposing and legislating morals based upon their imbalances. And, you know, now Jillyjuice is taking you out of the war. Now, how well can you adapt, and can you handle the adaptation process? Not everybody can, but I hope you guys do. All right, bye.